and welcome to Charmed Intentions. I am excited for today's spell because today we're doing an STFU spell, okay? This is the spell that you pull out when you really need someone to stop talking, stop all that yapping, stop all that gossiping, spreading lies, spreading hate, or just bothering you. This will shut it down, shut down a problem, shut down a person, whatever you're dealing with. My spells are always a bit customizable so that you can apply this to a situation, even if it's not just one person, but this can also be applied to multiple people. So this is an STFU spell to really bind someone's lips and get them to quit speaking on you, negatively affecting you. This could even be more open for you to improve your reputation if you have a collective that sees you in a negative way. So super customizable. I'm excited for it. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, a candle burned on my altar, or my personal custom spell work, that is where you can find me. And let's get into today's spell. So for today's spell, you're going to need some vinegar, piece of paper to write your petition. You're going to need some citronella. Citronella essential oil is really, really good for banishing pesky insects, banishing people who are in your energy that you don't want in your energy, thwarting problems that are in your life. If you don't have citronella, you can use something like rosemary. Rosemary is a really powerful protectant. Thyme is also a really powerful protectant. Even if you just have the herb, you might even have it in your, kitchen cabinet. You can put that at the foot of the spell that we're going to do today, and that will work. But we're going to be using citronella, really aggressive and really powerful cleansant and protectant, really shut down those problems that you're having. You're going to need a blue candle. So I'm using like a 4-inch chime candle, but if you have like a tea light blue candle, that's fine. You're going to need some black thread. And that's really it. I do have like a clear plastic dropper here for the vinegar, but with this one, the messier the better. So you could totally just, take the cap and use that. You'll see what I mean later in the spell. So now that we've gathered our materials, let's say our opening invocation to open up the space. And that is just sacred space now come to be, blessed with light and energy. Magic stirs and flows through me. So mote it be, so mote it be. So the first thing we're going to do is write our petition. Now, it's definitely better if you have the first and last name of this person, but you can also use this petition to describe your situation, which is how I'm going to do it. If you have a specific person that is bothering you, talking about you, whatever, causing any havoc or problems in your life, definitely put their first and last name and their date of birth on this petition if you have it. Otherwise, you can use a picture of them, and then you can just write on the back of that picture your petition, so what you want to happen in relation to this person. So if you print, like a picture of them, you can say this person is no longer able to speak about, and then put your name in date of birth there. That can work too. But I'm going to leave mine open-ended. So I'm going to say any and every negative person speaking against me is destroyed now. Any bad narrative is imposed upon whoever speaks that over me tenfold. So this is also putting that return to sender in place and kind of, cursing them with their own words. My reputation is good and restored. I am no longer seen in a negative light. All right. So I have my petition written here. The more specific, the better. So take this time to really go in on your situation and write what's going on. Next, we're going to take the red thread because we're going to bind this petition. We don't want this to be something that affects us. We don't want this to be something that continues. So we're going to tie it up against itself so that it can be bound, and everything that you've written here can literally stay here. Every, bit of negativity will be sucked right into this petition. So you don't need very much thread, literally just enough to tie this together. I'm going to fold it seven times away from me in one direction, and then 4 times away from me in the other direction. So it turns out to be just like this itty bitty square. And then I'm going to tie that up with the thread. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I might just tie it. Let's see. Literally just tie it, bind it. And as you're doing this, go ahead and feel free to speak intentions of binding, releasing, taking these words, this problem out of your aura, binding these people to themselves, getting them away from you, binding all negativity from you. I'm going to tie it one way that way. And then now that it's already tied, it'll be easier to tie this way. And speak those words. I have to tie it close to me. Sorry. Oh, it's out of frame, but I really wanted to make sure I got it, so I had to hold it up against me so I could get it tight enough to, and this is kind of what I got going on. It's tied in both directions. You don't have to tie it like mine. And like I said, it's literally just something to bind it. So as long as you tie it, period, literally that's fine. You can see I got some thread left over on both sides. So go ahead and take the vinegar. This is what I have the dropper for. So take some vinegar into your dropper or into the cap. We're going to end up transmuting this petition through the toilet bowl anyways. So it doesn't matter how, damp or wet it gets with this one. You're not, transmuting it through fire anyway. So you don't have to worry about not being able to light this at the end. We're going to flush them in the toilet like they deserve. And then I'm going to take the citronella. Cap is on. And I'm going to drop that right over it as well. And then the candle, we're going to light on the same exact plate. So blue is really good when it comes to matters of communication. So this is why you want to use a blue candle, so that you can let the universe know specifically, I want them to stop talking about me. I want my name out of their mouth. I don't want them referring to me to any capacity or even talking to me. Also, if this is for a specific person, go ahead and write their name and date of birth on the candle before you light it. As you could see, mine was more open-ended, so I don't need to do that. I have already tied my petition. I have sprinkled the citronella on there. I have sprinkled the vanilla on there. I have bound the petition. So we are ready to light this candle. And you know what? Go ahead and drop a little drop or two of the citronella onto the candle as well. So once that is done, we're going to go ahead and light the candle. And then we're going to speak our closing evocation over the candle just to let our guides know I said everything I needed to say. I did everything I needed to do. Go ahead and work your magic. So first, place your hands around the candle and speak one more time your intention over the candle, and then we'll say that closing evocation. So I'm going to say any negativity sent towards me, any harmful narrative, anything that I don't want to be said about me is no longer said now. The lips of my enemies, the lips of my naysayers are now binded. They are now no longer able to speak about me. My reputation is improved. My reputation is no longer impacted by any harmful words, thoughts, or people. Any negative person, any negative narrative against me is stopped in its tracks and returned back onto them tenfold. Their lives fall apart now. They are no longer able to affect me. They are so consumed with their own thoughts and worries and fears and hatred that it absolutely consumes them. They no longer have any time to think about me or speak about me, they are binded now. It is done. So once you say what you want to say, this is the time where you really speak from the heart and you can, mention specifics to your spirit guides. Let's go ahead and say the closing evocation. So that is just the gate closes, the spell is spun. My work is done, the magic won. With love and light, I set it free, so done it is, so mote it be. So once the candle is fully done burning, go ahead and let it burn all the way through. You're going to take this petition and you're going to quite literally flush it. If you don't want to do that, you can bury this like, really anywhere. It doesn't have to be anywhere specific. Or you can put this into moving water. That's also good as well. Obviously, you can't burn it unless it were to fully dry or something like that. You wouldn't really be able to do that, but flushing it is the best. You can even take off the tie if you're worried about that, or you can bury it if you don't want to flush it. But that is it. That is what I have for you today. I really hope you did enjoy today's STFU spell. My Etsy shop is in the description. If you would like your own private tarot reading, my personal custom spell work, or a candle burned on my altar, that is where you can find me. And that is what I have for you today. I will see you in the next one. So mote it be.